Welcome back to the Midnight Fire, everyone. Tonight we're plunging into the abyss, exploring the chilling depths of water and maritime horror. There's something ancient and unsettling about the ocean, isn't there? The crushing pressure, the eternal darkness, the sheer, unknowable vastness of it all. It's a realm where our senses betray us, where the familiar rules of land no longer apply. This is the domain of the Sunken King. Let's start with the basics. Thalassophobia, the fear of deep, dark bodies of water. It's a primal fear, one that's been with us since our ancestors first looked out over the endless ocean and wondered what monsters lurked beneath the waves. And for good reason. For most of human history, the sea was a one-way ticket. You fell in, you drowned. Simple as that. This inherent danger makes it the perfect setting for horror. It's an alien world right here on Earth, one we've explored less than the surface of the moon. Think about the classic maritime horror stories. You have tales like Moby Dick, which isn't just about a whale hunt. It's about obsession, madness, and the terrifying power of nature. Captain Ahab's quest is a descent into a personal hell, mirrored by the unforgiving sea itself. The ocean becomes a character, a malevolent entity that reflects the darkness in the human heart. It doesn't care about our ambitions or our lives. It simply is. And its indifference is one of the most terrifying things imaginable. Then you have the more supernatural tales, the ones that truly populate the deep seat of the Sunken King. Lovecraft was a master of this. His stories are filled with ancient, slumbering gods lying in wait in sunken cities beneath the waves. Cthulhu, dreaming in his house at Relay, is the ultimate representation of this fear. The idea that something so immense, so powerful, and so utterly alien is just waiting for the stars to be right. It taps into our fear of the unknown on a cosmic scale. The ocean is the gateway to horrors beyond our comprehension. The sailors in his stories often go mad, not from the physical dangers of the sea, but from the psychological weight of the truths it reveals. This brings us to a core element of maritime horror: isolation. Imagine being on a ship in the middle of the Pacific. There's nothing but water for thousands of miles in every direction. You're completely cut off from the rest of the world. Your ship becomes your entire universe. Now, what happens when something goes wrong? A storm hits, the engine fails, or worse, something gets on board. There's no escape. You can't just run away. You're trapped in a floating coffin with whatever horror is hunting you. This is the setup for so many brilliant stories. The film The Thing, while set in Antarctica, perfectly captures this sense of isolated paranoia. The crew of the Belgrano in the show, The Terror, faces not just the crushing ice and starvation, but a supernatural beast that stalks them across the frozen sea. Their ship, once a symbol of human ingenuity and exploration, becomes a prison and a tomb. The psychological toll of this isolation is immense. Trust breaks down. Paranoia sets in. People you've relied on for months become potential threats. Is your crewmate just stressed, or has he seen something in the water that broke his mind? And let's talk about the creatures. The ocean is the perfect place for monsters. We've all heard the legends of the Kraken, the giant squid that could pull entire ships down to the depths. But marine biology shows us that the real creatures of the deep are often far stranger than anything we could invent. Anglerfish with their bioluminescent lures, giant isopods that look like something from a nightmare, The colossal squid with eyes the size of dinner plates. These are real animals. The deep sea is a realm of monstrous adaptations. So when a story introduces a fictional sea monster, it feels plausible because the reality is already so bizarre. The Sunken King's domain isn't just about monsters, though. It's about the environment itself. Submarine horror is a whole subgenre built on this. The crushing pressure is a constant threat. A single crack in the hull, a tiny flaw in the engineering, and you're instantly obliterated. Films like Underwater or Leviathan use this brilliantly. The deep sea isn't just a setting, it's an active antagonist. The darkness is absolute, broken only by the narrow beams of your lights. Sound travels strangely. Every creak and groan of the metal is a potential death sentence. It's the ultimate claustrophobia. You're trapped in a tiny metal can, surrounded by an environment that wants nothing more than to crush you. This environment also plays with our perceptions. In the disorienting dark, it's easy for the mind to play tricks. Was that shape in the distance just a rock formation? Or was it something moving? Is that sound just the hull settling? Or is something outside trying to get in? This psychological aspect is key. The true horror isn't always the monster you see. It's the one you imagine lurking just beyond the edge of the light. And what about the wrecks? The ocean floor is a graveyard. Sunken ships from every era of human history lie silently on the bottom. Each one is a ghost story waiting to be told. The sailors who went down with their ships, their final moments trapped in a watery tomb. Exploring a shipwreck is like walking through a haunted house. The silence, the preservation of everyday objects in a place of disaster, it's incredibly eerie. There's a sense of tragedy and unresolved history that permeates these sites. It feels like a violation, a trespassing on a place of eternal rest. And in horror, that's when the ghosts come out to play. Stories about cursed wrecks or haunted ghost ships like the Flying Dutchman tap into this. The sea doesn't just kill. It holds on to its victims. It preserves their stories and their pain. The Sunken King rules over a kingdom of the drowned, an empire of rust and sorrow. When divers explore these wrecks, they're not just exploring history. They're entering a supernatural space where the past is not dead. The very nature of water itself is terrifying. It's formless, relentless. It can be calm and beautiful one moment, and a raging, destructive force the next. Drowning is one of our most deep-seated fears. The struggle, the burning in your lungs, the final acceptance of the inevitable. Water horror forces us to confront our own fragility. We are air-breathing creatures. In the water, we are helpless, out of our element. The Sunken King's world is fundamentally hostile to our existence. So why are we so drawn to these stories? Why do we love to be scared by the sea? I think it's because it represents the ultimate unknown. In a world where we have maps for everything and information is just a click away, the ocean remains a vast, dark mystery. It's one of the last frontiers. And with any frontier, there's a mix of excitement and terror. We are fascinated by what might be down there, even if, or maybe because it could be something that would destroy us. The deep seat of the Sunken King is more than just a place on a map. It's a psychological space. It's the fear of the unknown, the fear of isolation, the fear of losing control, and the fear of our own insignificance in the face of a vast and ancient world. It's the chilling whisper on the wind over a dark ocean, the shadow that flits at the edge of your submersible's lights, the certain knowledge that you are not alone in the water. It reminds us that no matter how advanced we become, there are still parts of our own world that are wild, untamable, and filled with terrors older than humanity itself. So next time you're at the beach, looking out at the waves, just take a moment. Think about the miles of dark water beneath that surface. Think about the pressure, the cold, the things that live their entire lives in darkness. And think about the Sunken King waiting in his deep seat, ruling over an empire of silence and fear. Pleasant dreams. Thanks for joining me in the depths tonight on the Midnight Fire. If you enjoyed this dive into maritime horror, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the shadows. Let me know your favorite piece of water horror in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.